Hi all, this is Ashish Kyal here from Wave Strategy Advisors. Welcome again to Elliott Wave News channel. And today we are going to talk about the Nifty topping process which is currently ongoing, and why we think there is going to be some very sharp reversal which is probably expected. So over past, if you observe Nifty or if you are trading Nifty over past 8 days or 9 days now, you might have seen that Nifty has actually not covered more than 100 points. So it is managing to find some support near the lower end of the area around 7600, and it is failing to cross about 7700. It made a high of 7710, but it has failed to go in any direction irrespective of the event, which was the monetary policy that happened. So irrespective of the status quo maintained by the central bank, Nifty did not react. Bank Nifty, in fact, closed positive on that day. So there is not much movement which is happening over past 8 or 9 days, and this has happened after a very strong up move which we saw from 7340 to 7600 levels, which happened just in 2 days of time, which was sufficient to create enough euphoria on the upside, and suddenly the momentum vanished. So that is how the markets work, and that is how Indian market works. You need to be patient. What happens after seeing such a sharp rally in 2 days, and then when you went long, you are seeing there is not much of a return, especially if you are an option trader, and if you are long or short on Nifty over past 7 or 9 days, you might have seen deterioration in the value because the volatility has come down. The time value is deteriorating, so it is eating up the premium of the option buyers, and that is how our markets are moving. Strangely, it's not very often to see such kind of a range bound action for such a long time, but if there it is there, then we need to wait for a clear decisive break. Many times people try to jump in before the support levels are broken. We have been talking about wait for the support levels to break, and only on the break of important support levels we'll get a confirmation that the reversal is starting on the downside. But unless that happens, since prices are moving in an upward sloping channel, it can continue to drift in an upward sloping channel for some time. So the resistance that was around 7710 will now be at around 7730. After a few days, it will change to 7760. So that is the problem when prices are in an upward sloping channel, because the upper trend line of the channel will keep shifting higher, and the resistance will keep shifting higher due to that. So let me share across a chart of Nifty and why I think that there is going to be a very sharp reversal. Probably there is a possibility we might see some kind of a move on upside initially, just to trap the bulls, and then there is going to be a very sharp reversal, because the indicators are pointing out that not only the wave theory, if you look at time cycles, if you look at indicators like RSI, if you look at a lot of those things, they are not sending across a good signal as of now. So let me share across the screen and show you how the indicators are looking like. So this is the chart of Nifty on a daily scale. If you look at the Nifty daily scale chart, and if you try to look at the overall movement from the lows of around 7900, we can see that this is the channel. If you remember, we have been discussing about this channel for quite some time in all of our webinar, and you can see clearly that price have been respecting each of these channels. So the momentum was very strong initially for first few weeks, then the momentum changed, the angle of ascent changed. So if you look at this angle, this is slightly lower than the prior rise. If you look at the current angle, it is still lower than the initial one. So the momentum has actually reduced from when the rally started and where it is right now. The same thing can be even seen right now on the RSI. If you look at RSI, prices have been struggling around the zone of 70 72 levels. So RSI, this is the resistance zone around 70 and 72. Prices are struggling to go about this zone. Now the maximum momentum was seen at this point, which was this high, and from then the momentum has reduced on the daily scale. Now what we also do is we apply a time cycle, which is a 55 days time cycle, and this time cycle helps us to understand what are the important lows. So if we look at the lows which is formed on the demonetization day here, and if we use that as the lower point of the market, we found another low somewhere around this zone, which is after 55 days. We found another low which is around this zone, which is again after 55 days. So as per this cycle, the next low should be formed only by after a few weeks, and the exact low details you can find in our daily research report. So only after a few weeks, the next low should be formed as per time cycle. But for that low to happen, we should have a top first in place. So the top is normally formed after half of the cycle is over. We are now in 34 days already done. So we are 35, 36 days in the cycle of 55 days. So we are in the topping process as per the cycle analysis. As per the indicator, if you look at, prices are showing series of negative divergences. We already are seeing series of negative divergences because this point was higher than the earlier one. This point was again higher, and we are right now here. So it will be only on a very strong momentum above this channel that the RSI will give away its negative divergence and the upside channel will break. So that is the reason why I think we are now getting very close to a strong trending move to emerge very soon. I'm expecting a reversal based on the fact that the momentum is not picking up on upside. There has been a lot of euphoria. The global markets are supporting for positive moves. Still, my index has been struggling at some way or the other. It has been constantly struggling. So if you look at this rise was very sharp for 2 days. This is now an hourly chart, and after that sharp rise, we can see that how the momentum has reduced. Price have been trying to break above this upper trend line, but can you see it has been just whipsawing and reversing back again. So it is not sustaining the above this upper trend line. We in today's session, we again saw some move on the downside. It managed to broke the level of 9630, but however it failed to close below that mark and again reversed back. So the distribution or the topping is a time consuming process. It tests the patience of the traders to the core. You need to be very, very stringent with the stop loss. If you are on the long side, you need to have a very strict stop loss because there is not much room left on the upside. If you are on the short side, you need to place a stop loss of the recent highs or the exact high. So you need to be sure that the stop losses which you are using is the stop loss of the highs of the market. And if that is taken out, probably few more days of consolidation will be taking place, and then the turn will happen. But looking at the time cycles, the series of negative divergences we are seeing on the indicator, looking at the internal counts. Now, if you look at the internal counts of this movement from the lows, this is definitely not impulsive. So if this rise is not impulsive, which means it's a corrective rise. A corrective rise can happen either in the form of a flat pattern, a triangle pattern, or some kind of a diametric pattern. In each of these cases, the down move or the wave B which will come should retrace more than 61.8% of wave A. It is only in zigzag that wave B cannot retrace more than 61.8% of wave A. But as per Neo wave, if there is a move on the downside, it should retrace more than 61.8% of wave A. So one has to play for that wave B which will come on the downside to the extent of 61.8% or more for once there is a negative confirmation. So you have to wait for negative confirmation. Patience is something that one has to wait, because once the opportunity arises, it's going to be a very good opportunity. But if you keep trading within this drifting market, you can probably start losing your patience very, very easily. So that is how one has to be forming the trading strategy. Wait for important supports to be broken. Now, what are these support levels? You can find in our daily research report, Financial Waves short-term update, which will show Nifty chart with the important support levels. What resistance level is there on the markets right now? Again, the same will be mentioned in the research report. But once this wave A is complete, I think we are going to be seeing some very serious reversal on the downside, and it's going to be very strong this time because the topping process has consumed a lot of time, and after a lot of time correction which has happened, we see a strong trending move to emerge. Or it is only based on the strong move above this channel resistance we will adopt an alternative structure or probability scenario. So Elliott wave is all about probability. So as of now, the probability looks higher that there is going to be a reversal on the downside, but we have to wait for break of support levels, and it will be only on the strong momentum and broader participation from across the space we will adopt some alternate scenarios. So over here you can clearly see how markets have been behaving. And before I wind up for the session, I have a small announcement to make. We will be also coming up with a training session which will be held on 29th and 30th of July at Grand Server Mumbai. That will be looking at Nifty from equity markets, commodity and forex markets from Neo Wave perspective, which is advanced part of Elliott Wave. I will be talking about time cycles, which is using Hurst time cycle. So why 55 days? What are the other cycles like 108 days and other cycles that we use based on Hurst time cycles that helps us to understand where the momentum should build up, like currently I explained. We'll be looking at Gann time cycles. Now, someone might think there is a lot of content to be squeezed out in 2 days, but what we are going to do is the main focus is going to be on NeoWave, and we are using time cycles as an ancillary to provide secondary confirmation. So Gann time cycles and Hurst time cycles are going to be used as an ancillary, and primary objective of the training is going to be looking at the NeoWave. And if you want to enroll for this session, you can reach out to us on 99-204-22202, or you can visit the website wavesstrategy.com, enroll yourself there, and my team will get in touch with you. We have also published the latest report on monthly research that covers valuations from perspective of what is happening with Nifty, Bank Nifty, mid-cap index, like we discussed last time. It covers a very detailed analysis of that valuations in the monthly research report. Stay tuned, and see you again next week, same time at 4. You can visit the website at 5 to see Elliott Wave channel, and you will find the same video there at 5 o'clock on our website, wavestrategy.com. Have a wonderful weekend, and see you again next time. Thank you.